watching SLCtv, Salt Lake City's government access channel. Today I'm down at the Gallivan Center for Food Truck Thursday, which happens every Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Gallivan is also celebrating its 25th anniversary, and you are invited to a free concert on Friday, June 15th. For this week's episode of Capital City News, we hear from Bill Wyatt, the Executive Director of Airports, about the new SLC. And our History Minute is about part 2 of our History of Rail. Let's get started with our legislative update and look back. The new SLC airport reaches a major milestone in construction during a topping out ceremony, where one of the last steel beams was lifted 70 feet to a high point on top of the central terminal building. Proud trade contract workers and city leaders left their mark on the steel beam, celebrating one of the largest public work projects in the state's history. Mayor Jackie Biskupski and airport executives took a behind-the-scenes tour of the first phase of the new airport, which is on schedule to be completed in fall of 2020. The Salt Lake City Police Department and Mayor Biskupski recognize officers and civilians for their extraordinary acts of bravery and service at the 38th Annual Police Awards Luncheon. Mayor Biskupski proclaimed May as Asian American Awareness Month, honoring the Japanese and Chinese communities, two of Salt Lake City's oldest Asian communities, to have contributed to the vitality and growth of the city for over 100 years. 4 outstanding elders were honored for dedicating their lives to service, sharing history, experience, and culture with the community. The streets of Salt Lake City were filled with brightly colored rainbows and an energized crowd for the 43rd Annual Utah Pride Festival, promoting inclusion and unity for all. Mayor Biskupski kicked off the weekend of festivities with a proclamation declaring pride in Salt Lake City. The event attracted more than 50,000 people and continues to grow each year. The International Imperial Court Council presented Mayor Biskupski and Equality Utah with the Harvey Milk Civil Rights Award for their work in promoting equality. Salt Lake City was recognized as the second city to honor Harvey Milk by dedicating a street to the LGBTQ rights activist. As part of the presentation, the city received a bust of Harvey Milk, which is the exact replica displayed in San Francisco City Hall. In anticipation of the 2019 reconstruction of 900 South between Lincoln Street and 1300 East, Salt Lake City's Transportation and Engineering divisions tested out 2 temporary pop-up intersection designs to seek community feedback. The team will spend the next month crunching data before presenting their findings to the community. Salt Lake City just reached a major milestone in the construction of the new SLC airport. Bill Wyatt, Executive Director of the Salt Lake City Department of Airports, is here to fill us in on what we can expect in the coming months.
Well, the old airport, the one that we were still operating and that people really love. I'm always impressed by how many people come up to me and just express their joy and admiration for the old airport, but it is too small. It was built for about 10 million annual passengers, and next year we'll have about 26 million annual passengers. So it's very crowded, and we have no opportunity to expand. So if Delta or other airlines want to add service, we frankly don't have room for them. And so it was that recognition that really inspired the development of this new facility. The scale of it is tremendous. The central concourse, the A concourse we'll call it, will be 3/4 of a mile long, very long. The B concourse will be a half a mile long, and they will be connected by a 1/4 mile tunnel. So the distance, the scale, and the size, I think, will be the thing that most people will notice when they first experience it. I am often asked, who's paying for this airport? Are local taxpayers paying for it? And the answer to that is no. in the end, the people who use the airport pay for it. Either they're buying tickets or they're parking and they're buying concessions or renting cars, because there are fees constructed into all of those things. And keep in mind that 60% of the people who fly through the airport today don't live in Salt Lake. They are coming from some other location. So the total cost of the project is roughly $3.6 billion. And it is supported by airline leases. So the airlines that serve Salt Lake have leases for the space they operate, and that provides a substantial part of the revenue for constructing the project. Delta is our largest carrier. They represent 70% of the market, and we've just negotiated with them an extension of their lease by 10 years, which really guarantees us that we can pay for this project without any challenges at all. And I believe it'll be one of the longest airport leases in the country. It expires in 2034, which is a long time from now. And most airport leases are 5 years or 10 years. This one, by the time it's done in 2034, will have been a 30-year lease. We are in the midst of the construction project for the new SLC airport. And this today is a real milestone, because the last piece of steel is going into the central terminal building, and it's a very traditional moment in the construction industry where the workers and the project owners all get together and just celebrate all the work that's been done. People will be asked to sign the steel beam, which will go into the project. So those who sign it will be memorialized for the, probably 100-year life of this facility. And it is just a very sweet moment for everybody. For more information, check out our website.
And now it's time for History Minute.
For the first period of Salt Lake City's growing public transportation system, the streetcars were pulled by a pair of lumbering rat mules from Missouri. While the mules were temperamental and prone to stopping at any time, the streetcar had a high ridership. During the first week of operation alone, between 400 and 500 people a day rode the new streetcar line. In those early days, passengers frequently complained about the bumpy ride and how often the cars came off the rails, forcing passengers to walk for the rest of their trip, or to help the conductors push the cars back onto the rails. Other times, mules would be frightened, jump the car from the rails, break free from their harnesses, and flee. Despite the lack of predictability and speed, the streetcar proved popular and vital. Over the next decade, the problems with bumpy track and derailing cars were fixed. By the time the mule-drawn streetcars had reached their peak, there were as many as 84 mules servicing more than 40 miles of track in Salt Lake City.
Thanks for watching another episode of Capital City News. Today I am signing off from the Gallivan Center, which you can see is just popping right now. Lots of jumping and jiving happening. Every Thursday is Food Truck Thursday here at the Gallivan. Come and check it out. There's also free concerts on Tuesday nights for big band concerts, as well as Thursday. Salt Lake City is a place to be this summer. Join us next time. For SLCtv, I'm Poonam Kumar.